3 years ago, I bought my dream home in Willow Grove, a picturesque suburban neighborhood with tree-lined streets and pristine lawns. The colonial-style house, with its cream siding, navy shutters, and sprawling corner lot, was everything I'd ever wanted. The previous owners had let the landscaping go, but I saw it as a blank canvas. That first spring, I poured my heart into transforming the yard, premium grass seed, precise watering, and rose bushes along the front walk. Neighbors stopped to admire my work, and even Mrs. Larson, a 30-year resident, said she'd never seen the place look so vibrant. The Willow Grove Homeowners Association, HOA, welcome packet outlined strict rules, specific door colors, holiday decor limits, and trash can placement. They seemed fair, meant to preserve the neighborhood's charm. Eager to fit in, I attended my first HOA meeting. That's when I met Linda Harper, the HOA president. Her sharp auburn bob and perpetually pursed lips gave her an air of authority. She ran the meeting like a drill sergeant, citing bylaws and past violations with chilling precision. Her own home, a flawless two-story at the neighborhood's edge, was a testament to her obsession with control. Trouble started small. One morning, I noticed tire tracks slicing across the corner of my lawn where it curved around the intersection. They were shallow, so I assumed it was a careless delivery driver or a teenager cutting through. I raked the grass, reseeded, and moved on. 3 days later, deeper ruts appeared in the same spot. Concerned, I installed a discreet security camera under my garage eaves. The footage shocked me. At 7:45 a.m., a silver BMW SUV veered off the road, deliberately crossing my lawn to shave seconds off the turn. Behind the wheel? Linda Harper. I reviewed older footage. This wasn't a one-off. Linda had been using my lawn as her shortcut every weekday morning for weeks, checking for witnesses before cutting across. The hypocrisy stung. This was the woman who'd find the Millers for a slightly visible trash can, yet she was wrecking my property without a second thought. Anger replaced my initial disbelief. I decided to confront her calmly. On Saturday, I stood on Linda's porch with photos of the tracks and camera screenshots. She answered, gardening gloves on, her expression souring when she recognized me. I explained the issue politely, showing the photos but not accusing her outright, hoping she'd own up. She barely glanced at them. Could be anyone, she said dismissively. When I played the footage, her face didn't flinch. I'm just saving time, she shrugged. That corner's a pain. The developers screwed it up. Stunned by her nonchalance, I pressed. It's my property, Linda. The grass is ruined, and I've spent months on it. She crossed her arms. You're new here. The old owners didn't care. It's just how things work. I suggested discussing a road fix at the next HOA meeting, but she cut me off. 15 seconds twice a day adds up. And speaking of rules, your hedges are too tall. Fix them before someone complains. Her threat was clear: cross me, and I'll make your life hell. I stayed composed. I'll check the hedges, but please stop driving on my lawn. Her fake smile didn't reach her eyes. I'll try to remember, she said, shutting the door. Her try was meaningless. The tracks continued. I emailed the HOA board, politely documenting the damage and requesting respect for property lines, attaching photos, but not naming Linda. No response. Desperate, I checked the HOA handbook and installed a low white picket fence along the corner, fully compliant with regulations. It looked charming, with flowering shrubs for extra appeal. Monday evening, I came home to a nightmare. The fence was splintered, shrubs flattened, and deep tire tracks carved through. The camera showed Linda's BMW slowing, then plowing through the fence without hesitation. This was war. I turned my home office into a command center. A calendar tracked each trespass. A property map highlighted the corner. Screenshots were labeled with dates. I upgraded to a high-resolution camera with night vision and added a second motion-activated one for full coverage. Linda grew bolder, sometimes pausing to stare at my house before crossing. The ruts deepened, scarring my lawn. I met Tom Reynolds, the HOA treasurer, for coffee outside the neighborhood. Linda runs this place like her fiefdom, he admitted. She's been president for 3 years and crushes anyone who challenges her. Other board members shared similar stories. The Clarks had been cited for holiday lights after questioning her. Linda's selective enforcement kept everyone in line. Then, her retaliation began. A violation notice arrived for a tiny chip in my window trim paint. Another claimed my grass was a 1/4 inch too long. She or her inspection cronies drove by daily, hunting for infractions. Neighbors whispered their grievances. The Browns were fined for a basketball hoop. Mrs. Carter, a widow, got a grass violation the day after her brother's funeral. Fear silenced them. "We can't risk the fines," Mr. Lopez said. Alone, I consulted a real estate lawyer, James Lee. He praised my documentation. "You're within your rights to protect your property. A cease and desist letter could work, but creative compliance might be better." That sparked an idea. At 2:37 a.m., half asleep on my couch, a documentary about medieval moats inspired me. A modern moat, disguised as a water feature, could stop Linda while staying HOA compliant. I researched dry creek beds and rain gardens, which collect runoff in a rock-lined trench with native plants. Impossible to drive across, yet beautiful. Section 7.3 of the HOA rules encourage such eco-friendly designs. I sketched a creek bed for the corner, 18 inches to 3 feet deep, with boulders to block vehicles. 3 landscapers balked, confused by the trench's location. Then I met Carla Rivera of Greenscape Designs. She saw the corner's drainage issues and agreed that a creek bed would help. "It'll also stop any car without 4-wheel drive," she said with a knowing smile. We refined the plan: a curving trench, large rocks, native plants, and a footbridge for access. Every detail followed HOA rules, framed as an environmental win. I secured a city permit easily. Knowing Linda would block the HOA application, I submitted it for the board's Tuesday meeting, when she'd be at her cousin's wedding. Tom and the board approved it unanimously, calling it a model project. Construction began the next Saturday, with Linda still away. Carla's crew arrived at 7 a.m., digging the trench where Linda's tracks had scarred my lawn. Neighbors watched, curious. Mrs. Carter grinned. "In such a specific spot, too." By Sunday, the moat was stunning. River rocks lined the trench, plants softened the edges, and solar lights with hidden cameras added safety. It was HOA compliant, eco-friendly, and impenetrable. Monday morning, I watched my cameras. At 7:41, Linda's BMW approached. She slowed, confused, then stopped, staring at the moat. She inched forward, searching for a path, but the boulders and depth defeated her. Furious, she backed up and took the proper route. Victory. 23 minutes later, Linda stormed onto my porch. "What's that thing on your lawn?" she snapped. "A dry creek bed and rain garden," I said calmly. HOA approved. She claimed it was hazardous and demanded its removal, saying she'd never approved it. I mentioned the board's vote during her absence. "We'll see," she hissed, calling an emergency HOA meeting for 7 p.m. I arrived with a laptop, projector, and evidence folders. The room was packed. Linda opened, calling my Mora hazardous violation, and moving for its removal. Tom interrupted, noting the board's approval. Linda doubled down, but I raised my hand. Given 5 minutes, I projected my calendar of trespasses, then Linda's BMW crossing my lawn. Gasps filled the room. I showed the fence destruction, emails, and violations she'd sent me. "This creek bed protects my property and complies with all rules," I said, displaying permits. "It's an asset to Willow Grove." Mrs. Carter spoke first. "I've had 14 violations from Linda, 4 right after my brother's funeral. This creek bed is beautiful." The Lopezes followed, decrying fines for family gatherings. One by one, neighbors exposed Linda's tyranny. Her face paled as her control crumbled. Tom called a vote. No one supported removal, Every hand but Linda's backed the Moat. Defeated, she fled the room. Neighbors congratulated me, asking for Carla's number. My Moat didn't just save my lawn, it broke Linda's grip on Willow Grove. The next month, Tom ran for HOA president. Linda didn't show. What do you think about standing up to bullies like Linda? Have you faced injustice in your community? Share your thoughts below. Let's discuss how we confront unfairness in our lives.